is called Sow Love and Grow Peace. So you plant love and you harvest peace. So it's going to be a heart on the bottom with some leaves coming out, and then a peace sign blossoming out of the top, out of the flower. So it's about peace and love and getting along. I just want something that people are going to smile at when they see it. You know, and we're here in Greenfield, and it's just for that. You know, I've always drawn pictures my entire life. I've done a little bit of painting and scribbling and whatnot. I doodled through 6 years of college, and now I draw for a living. So I do ice sculptures. Haven't done wood yet, but yeah, I'm stick to ice for now. I worked 30 years in Las Vegas. Is where I picked this up in Las Vegas. And yeah, it's a chef art. And chefs don't get paid for it anymore, so now professional sculptors do it. But we all have roots in the culinary arts. Up and down the street, I bet you there's out of 12, I don't know, eight chefs probably. The idea of this one is there's a 5-inch piece here, there's a 3.5-inch piece here, or just under 3. And so the weight is all in here, and it's light on the end, but the illusion is going to be it's heavy on the end. So that's what we're looking for. Something looks like it's going to fall over.
Hi, I'm Chef Pike. I'm at the Franklin County Tech School. I'm the culinary arts instructor. This is our ice carving team for today. We're battling the weather today. We're going to look at 16 degrees. We're going to go ahead and do an eagle. We're having fun, enjoying our time. The eagle is actually, we're home of the eagles. So that's our little trademark that we have at the school. So we're going ahead and we've taken 2 300-pound blocks of ice. We've secured them together, and now we're taking that 600-pound block of ice and whittling it down to at least, what do you say, about 150 pounds? Mm-hmm. 150 pounds, and it's going to look like a big, big eagle.
Well, my name is Mark Bosworth. I'm from Athol, Massachusetts, and inspiration for the sculpture, I don't know, I just like the mythical themes and the knights and the type of thing. It seems to be liked by a wide range of audiences and stuff like that. So, got the knight riding his stallion, and he'll be having a sword in his hand when I'm finished. People like those themes, I think, pretty good. Well, I'd been a wood sculptor for over 10 years. In fact, I'd been doing it as a hobby for probably 20 years, or well, 30 years or better. But I did professionally for about 10 years doing chainsaw sculpture, and then incorporated a little bit of ice along with it. I've been doing the ice usually once or twice a year for about 20 years, you know, for New Year's Eve events and small parties, big parties as well, and special occasions occasionally, but usually only a couple times a year at best. I just did the Northampton Carve a couple weeks ago, and here I am in Greenfield. I've been doing the Greenfield, at least 10 years.
Since the theme of the Carnival was warm and toasty, I was going to do a fireplace with a blazing fire. Irony. Yesterday I was trying to think of something that would be fast, given the conditions. And this should be fast, except that we blew the little fuse. We ran out of power. The ice didn't come until an hour and a half late. We had a few problems, let's just say. But we're looking up, and we're good to go from here.
Yeah, believe it or not, it's actually too cold. I mean, a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, this is nice weather," and I said, "It's too cold actually, because when it's too cold like this in single digits, the ice gets really tight, and when you approach it with the chainsaw, you can have problems. If you look, you can see there's a couple of hairline fractures taking place in there. So I originally had some drawings to do something very complicated, but as soon as I saw that this is how tight the ice was, I had to kind of shift on the fly and change my plan. It's still going to be breathtaking, you know, but because my name's attached to it, you know, we all have egos, right? So it'll be nice. The other thing was I found out there were 2 other people doing horses, so I said, I don't want to be lumped in with the other guys, you know what I mean? It's actually going to be a seahorse, and I'm carving some seaweeds. This is actually the back of it. but I'm carving some seaweeds that'll stick up on both sides of it. So the judges usually like to see you know, taking the ice apart and putting it back together. You know, if you just take a block ice and carve something, it's okay, but when you show some skill by taking it apart and then putting it back together again, and in that respect, it's cold enough where you put two pieces of ice together and put a little bit of water in there, and it's like brand new. It's like a whole solid piece of ice. It's like, look, I tell people when they come by to look at this stage, don't even look because it's just a jumbled mass of ice, but come back in an hour or two and it'll be something completely different. I actually live in Bondsville, but my shop is in Three Rivers. Yeah, this time of the year is busy for me, you know. I'll be up in Keene, New Hampshire Sunday. We were supposed to be there tomorrow, but it's going to be minus 26 degrees. And they called me and they said, we don't think that any families are going to be out. And I said, of course not. No one's going to bring their little children out in minus 26 degrees to get frostbite. So I think I'll move back to Sunday. That's all right. I do some drawing and I've tried some painting, but ice is really my forte. About 27 years ago, I took a class while I was in college because I was short of credits. I was trying to get my degree in culinary arts, and I found out I had some artistic ability. And about 5 years ago, I was teaching the class up at Holyoke Community College. I taught it for 2 semesters, and then, you know, we didn't have the minimum. I think they need 6 students for the class to be viable. They only had 4, so they called me and said, we have to discontinue the class because we can't pay you and run the class and lose money. So, but I used to tell my students all the time, when you're carving an ice sculpture, unless you're doing abstract art, if you carve a piece and someone comes up to you and says, what is it? You really didn't get where you were supposed to go, right? I mean, you didn't accomplish what you set out to do. So anyway, and I tell people, draw. If nothing else, it's therapeutic, you know. I'm in recovery, so it's something that really helps me stay, you know, on the right track. So it keeps me balanced. When I'm out here carving, some people might not understand it, but this is it's a lot cheaper than therapy, trust me. I did go to a therapist for a while, and it kind of helped me turn things around a little bit, you know.
I went to school for sculpture, and I started doing that in school as well as stonework, and I try to do artistic stonework. Now, stonework is typically additive, where you stack things on top of each other, and this is reductive, where you take it out of the block. But this is the same as carving stone or carving wood. I am making a woolly mammoth. Well, I read an article about how they're going to bring back the mammoth, and it's being genetically engineered, and they're going to reintroduce them into the Arctic and see if it changes the environment.
I'm a marble sculptor, and I've taken up ice carving as part of enjoying winter festivals like this is what's happening here in Greenfield. It's exciting because the material is easier to carve than stone, and that's this sparkle, this crystally substance. Once you start to carve it, chip away at it, it brings out the life of the ice, and it really gives a different feeling to it. When the sun hits it, it glimmers, and it's fun to do. This is a heart. It's an ocean wave. So it's an ocean wave carrying our ancestors, our loved ones here. So that's what this is about here. My inspiration behind that is that my grandparents, three out of 4 of my grandparents immigrated, 2 from Italy, 1 from Poland, and the other way around, 2 from Poland, 1 from Italy, and they're all passed away. My parents have both passed away as well. So now I'm at the top of the list among my relatives, the oldest amongst them, and it puts me in that position that my grandparents used to be in. So it gives me thought about what my relatives did to get here, to put me here, to be doing what I'm doing.
Robert Markey, I'm an artist, sculptor, painter. I do mosaic projects. The projects up in Middletown, I've done those. A lot of social, political work, teaching to jail. I do whatever. I like to do fun things too, like ice carving. I've done a lot of dragons. I did a lot of political work on trafficking a little while ago. And when I do a lot of political work, I need to do something different And I sculpted a dragon just because it was non-political. And it was like, wow. And since then I've sculpted them, I've done mosaics in different countries of dragons. It's one of my fun things. I've never done an ice sculpture of a dragon, so I figured, hey, okay, I'm gonna do an ice dragon. That's the crazy story behind that. I sculpt and I paint and I do mosaics, I do everything, yeah.
Got it.
The mosaics up by behind the gallery there, Pushkin Gallery. That I organized that or I worked with a re-entry group to do that mosaic there.
My name is Michael Lagasse. I'm from Athol. I live in Winchendon now. I've been carving for about 16 years now. I started primarily out of wood. I did it full time for about 10 years, and I gradually got invited to do some ice, and I'm still learning the difference between ice and wood, but slowly getting there. I know a couple people that are here.
Nice.
One, Mark Bosworth. We used to carve together at the same lot, so we both did wood for a long time. Right now I'm doing 2 wolves, kind of like the mom teaching the pup how to howl. I never did a wolf out of ice before, so I kind of just drew up a sketch and saw if I could make it fit inside the blocks. I used to draw a little when I was younger, but I think sculpting with chainsaws is my forte. Stay warm.